Today I want to offer this mudra, and it's really, really simple. All you do is you place your left hand over your heart, just right over your sternum, and then the right hand goes right over top of that. Yeah, you're just holding your heart here. It's known as the Hridaya Mudra. Hridaya means heart, and it kind of helps us to cultivate this space of inner refuge in which we can turn to our own support and our own solace, knowing that everything that we need is already within us. So this gesture, it helps, of course, direct breath and awareness and energy to the heart center. And that helps to cultivate a sense of trust, safety, right here within ourselves. And so knowing that this place inside of ourselves may be a place that, divinity, that this inner intelligence exists within, listening to your heart, feel free to close your eyes so that you can tune into that space. Or lower the gaze down to a spot on the floor, something that you can kind of just stare at for a couple moments. And let's start to breathe. Gather the energy right here at your heart. And then try to control your breath as you exhale so that your exhales are slightly longer than your inhales. For instance, maybe you inhale to a count of 3 and exhale to a count of 5. So just a little bit longer. So let's practice that a couple times, just breathing in to a count of 3. Maybe you need a longer breath, but just making sure to control the breath as you breathe out, elongating that outward breath. And when we slow the outward breath, what happens is we're calming our nervous system. The nervous system slows down, and we can then tune our awareness into how we're feeling, what we're dealing with, whatever situation is at hand in our life, knowing that we've got this divine guidance within us. Gradually, as our perception changes, we can come to see that every obstacle that we encounter in our life serves to guide us along our journey. And with this wider perspective, we're able to explore our difficult situations and acknowledge their deeper meaning as a vehicle for awakening to a greater understanding of who we are. That's what yoga is all about. Yoga is also about moving our body and stretching, but the true word yoga means to yoke or unify your body with your mind, with your spirit, with this feeling inside of you, this inner intelligence, that divinity. So let's take a couple more of those deep breaths, trying to elongate the exhale. If this mudra is becoming uncomfortable, feel free to just lay your hands in your lap, sit however you're most comfortable, and just focus on your breath. Let's take 2 more. Great work. Feel free to keep your eyes closed if you'd like, or you can blink your eyes open if you want to. And let's just start to move with our breath. And that's kind of the hard part of yoga. So with an inhale, let's just reach our arms out and up overhead. And with the exhale, let them float back down. It might take a little bit longer for them to float down because the outward breath is longer than the inward breath. So just moving at your own pace here, trying to control that outward breath. Nice work, everybody. Now let's bring our hands to our heart center, right in the center. It's called Anjuli Mudra. So after you're done with your combing breaths, we'll just bring our hands right here. We're going to kind of stretch through our arms a little bit. So interlace those fingers and lift your elbows. You might feel your fingers pop a little bit. Press those palms out towards me and let's kind of wring it out a little bit. So that means the hands are going to go to one direction while the body and the torso twist to the opposite. So just wring it out a couple times to each direction. Move at your own pace here. You don't have to match me. You can just close your eyes and feel into your body and see how it's feeling today. Might be awakening some tight spots, that's for sure. And then come back to center. You can release your hands, or on the way up, release your hands so that you're reaching up to the sky. Let's use our left hand to grab our right wrist, and then we'll draw it over the whole body, the whole torso to the left. Take a big breath. And let's bring it back up and switch sides. So the right hand grabs the left wrist, and we just lean gently to the right. Big breath there. And then bring it back up. Let's release the arms down, slightly back behind you here, and just kind of puff up, lift up through your chest. So as you come back to center, we'll open it up, kind of lean your head from side to side if you want to. And then we'll come back up to seated. Nice job. Now let's extend these legs out long. You were right where you needed to be, Terry. Let's do our first forward fold here, and then we'll add those arms again, but like this. So big inhale up to the sky, and then we'll just roll round over to your ankles, to your shins, to your toes. Remember, we just have to warm our body up here. We have to start moving all of our muscles and start integrating all of the new tissue that was made while we were sleeping last night, during the day as we were healing today. So our body is just letting all those new fibers know, this is your job, this is what you should feel. Nice work. Now let's start to roll back up, and we'll do those arms again, but like this. So hands at heart center, interlace the fingers, lift your elbows, push your hands out, round your back, exhale, breathe out. With an inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. And with an exhale, float your hands down, slightly back behind you. Open up your chest, let your head lay back. Nice. I like to roll my head to the right, to the left while it's leaning back. And then we'll sweep our hands around our body back into the forward fold. Look down, curl into your spine there, and then we'll roll back up. Nice job. Roll out the shoulders a couple times as you come back up, both directions. All right, we'll come back to just a regular old seated position, so you get to choose how you're gonna sit. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay like this. I'm a crisscrosser, so I always go back to crisscross. Let's bring our right hand right down next to us, right next to the side of our body, and we're gonna lean our head to the left. You can feel that stretch happen all the way from the shoulder, from the fingertips even maybe, but I feel it mostly just through the right side of the neck. Now, your left hand can get involved if you want it to. You can either cross your heart over to your right shoulder and help that right shoulder down, or if you need something a little bit more kind of aggressive, then you could bring your hand up over your head so that your left elbow is assisting your head over to the left. I also like to draw my head forward while I'm here so that I feel the stretch in the back of my neck on the right side. So you can really play with the angles of your head there and explore and see what you need to find. See what needs to be stretched in your neck today. Nice work. Release your left hand. Keep your right hand where it is, We're going to just kind of bring our left hand right up into that same space on the left. Release the right hand. So it'll come to your lap, or you can extend it out, and then we have to lean our head to the right. Remember, your right hand can get involved. So you can cross your heart, remind the shoulder, or you can drape the hand over your head so that that right elbow is assisting your head further to the right. Try different angles there, see what feels good, see what you need today. Give yourself some time. Don't forget to breathe. Release it whenever you're ready to. Bringing your head back up to center. Now we're going to bring our right hand right back to where it was, right next to us. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Bend your right elbow back, and that's going to help you lean over to the right. You can feel that stretch still from that left hip all the way through the ribs, all the way through the side body. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe you look up, maybe you look down, see what feels right. Let's try that on the other side when you're ready to. We'll just push into the right hand to bring ourselves back up. The left hand comes right next to us. Bend the elbow back, and the right hand will reach up. Maybe over. Nice. So find the right angle for you. Stay connected as well as you can through the right side of your body. Don't forget to breathe. When you're ready to come back up, just push into your left hand and come back to center. Now, if you are sitting like I am, crisscross, change your legs. If you're sitting with legs straight out or in hero's pose, stay like you are, because that's a nice center posture. And we'll do it one more time on each side. So you can do it like this, or you can reach out. It's up to you. So the right hand can reach out or ground down. The left hand will reach up, maybe over. Just try to stay connected again, like connected to the floor or to your heel on the left side. Relax the right shoulder. Take one of those deep breaths with a really long exhale. When you're ready, let's fan it up and switch sides one more time over to the left. Stay connected on the right side. Don't forget to breathe. With an inhale, when you are ready to, fan your way back up. Nice job, everybody. We're going to change it up today, and we're going to lay on the floor, okay? So I'm going to take my blanket here, and I'm going to roll it up to make a little pillow, and we'll lay back onto our yoga mat. So make sure you're somewhat comfortable there. We want our feet flat, knees bent. So at home, if you've got like your phone or your device, I usually bring it right next to my face so that I can just look to the side and see what's happening on the screen. So I've got my feet flat. I can kind of tickle my heels there. So my hands are reaching down for my feet. I'm going to work with the legs first. So I'm just going to push into my heels, lift my butt, and I can feel, it's called bridge pose, or Setu Bandhasana, if you care to know. I can feel the thighs burning a little bit, the butt burning a little bit, and then I'm going to lower my hips back down. Let's add the arms. So push into your feet and reach your hands up to the sky, or even up over your head if you'd like. And then we'll roll it all back down, back to where we began. So let's do that about 10 times. You count on your own, inhaling to lift, exhaling to ground the whole body, even the hands. Just relax when you rest. And those inhales are made to energize the body. And the exhales are made to ground. Now, if you have a shoulder that's hurting, maybe you only do this with one arm. Nice job. Keep on moving. I've got about 5 more to go. My butt's really starting to burn here. I'm going nice and methodically with my breath. So those exhales are taking me a little bit longer to lower down. Last one for me. You might have a couple more left. It's okay. We're all moving at our own pace. Great job. Now we're going to do our standard figure 4 laying pigeon. So from here, since we just worked out those glutes really good, we're going to pick up our right foot and cross the outer ankle over top your left thigh. You might already feel a stretch on the outside of your right knee, or hip, or thigh, or butt. But if you want to feel more, then what you'll have to do is pull that closer to your torso. So I found the best way is to activate my core, pick the left foot up off the ground, and grab onto my left thigh. I can really feel that now on the outside of my right thigh, right hip, outside of the glute. And I start to rock on my back from side to side. Nice. Some people like to extend the left leg so that if your eyes are open, it kind of looks like you're stepping up on the ceiling. I like to flex and point my toes a couple times just to bring some awareness to my feet and my ankle, my calf muscles, my shin. When you are ready, we're just going to drop the left foot down to the floor. Don't uncross the legs quite yet. So the right leg still is crossed in a figure 4. Bring your arms slightly out off the mat, maybe even teed out to the sides. And we're going to rotate the legs over to the left so that your right foot goes flat. Yeah, looks good. It's very gentle here at first. We're just starting to warm up for those twists. We'll get deeper here in a little bit, so don't worry, we'll get there. Let's go slow with ourselves here. So when you're ready to unwind, you can help yourself or just activate your core and unroll back to center. And now we'll switch legs. So now the left leg is going to cross over top the right thigh. And we'll pull that up closer to the torso if need be. So if you need more stretch in your outer left thigh, outer left hip, then you can pull the whole thing closer to your chest by grabbing onto your right thigh there. Feel free to add a little rocking from side to side. There's a lot of options here, so you've got a lot of choices to make. Exploration to do there. See what feels good on this side. I have extended my right leg, so it looks like I'm stepping on the ceiling, and I'm gonna flex and point, draw some circles on the ceiling with my right toes. Great job. Remember, you need to stay as long as you want to stay. And so if that time has surpassed and you want to release now, then feel free to release down, add on the next step when you're ready, which is a gentle twist to the right with your legs in this figure 4 position. So that means your left foot goes flat on the floor. Try to keep your shoulders flat. Yeah, that's good. And see if you can take a deep breath. When you're ready, unroll the body. Stay there as long as you need to. Uncross the left leg. Let's pull those knees up into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock on your back a little bit from side to side, massaging your low back. Now we're going to move a little deeper into those twists. So extend your arms out to the side, kick your legs up kind of like you're sitting in an invisible chair. And we're going to take both legs to the right. Your outer right thigh can rest on the floor. Try to keep your left hand, maybe your left elbow, maybe your left shoulder resting on the floor. See if you can take a deep breath while you're here. Nice work. I have to use my right hand. I use my right fingers and kind of assist my legs back up to center. Tee out those arms again and let the legs come over to the left. So now your left thigh is resting on the floor. The right shoulder or elbow or palm perhaps resting on the floor as well to keep grounded through the back. A deep breath, perhaps more than one is best. But whenever it is that you're ready to come back up to center, you should. Come on back up whenever that is. Nice, grab onto those legs if you need the assist in center, giving yourself that little bit of a hug. We're gonna add one more twist on here. So, tee those arms out, bring your feet down to the floor. This time we're going to extend just our right leg. So it goes flat on the floor here. Then that left knee that's still kind of pyramid position, pointed up to the ceiling, we're gonna let just the left knee come over the right leg, over to the right. So now you're in an even deeper twist. Trying to keep my left hand on the floor becomes a really big challenge. That looks great. So now I am also using my right hand on my left knee to assist it further, but only if you need to. So if it doesn't feel good, don't feel like you need to do that. That's yoga for sure. Knowing what doesn't work for your body is also yoga. Unwind whenever you're ready. Bring yourself back to center. Slide your right foot back up so that it is now back foot flat, knee bent, and we'll switch sides. Left leg extends. Use your left hand to reach over for your right knee and assist it over into that big twist. I'm still trying to keep my right hand grounded on the floor. For me, it's just my fingertips at this point. See if you can take that deep breath. Whenever you're ready, back to center. Nice work. Both feet back up, knees bent. Maybe add a bridge there, just like we began, lifting your hips, activating your quads, lowering back down. Nice work. So from here, I'm going to have you kick your right leg up to the ceiling, like you're going to step on the ceiling. Grab on behind your right leg. If you want more stretch, your left leg can go to a straightened position so that it's flat on the floor. Flex and point those right toes. Let's get that calf moving. That calf gets some awareness, some energy. Nice, a good hamstring stretch there. And from here, we're going to go into a half happy baby. So the right hand grabs on behind the right knee, and we bend that knee into our outer arm, like our outer armpit on the right side. I'm going to reach my right hand up for my right foot. And I'm pulling my right knee back to the outer right side of my body, like into my armpit almost. That looks great. Half happy baby. Great job. Release it when you're ready. Bring that right foot back down to the floor and kick your left leg up to the ceiling. Grab on behind your left knee, behind your left thigh, wherever you want to grab on, really. We're trying to keep our left leg straight this time. If you could use more stretch, the right leg can extend down so that it's laying flat on the floor. Flex and point those toes. Draw some circles on the ceiling. I really feel that through the bottom of my foot. And whenever you're ready, switch to the half happy baby. Bend that left knee to the outside of your torso, perhaps reaching up for your left foot with your left hand and pulling that knee back and out to the outside of your torso, to your armpit. A half happy baby. If you want to be a full happy baby, We could do that next. What I do is I have to kind of reset my body. I bring both feet flat, knees bent, pull both knees up to my chest. My toes are touching, but my knees are far apart. And then I might reach my right hand for my right toe and my left hand for my left toe and try to separate my feet, pulling my knees accordingly to their outer side of each side of my ribs. I like to rock on my back there from side to side. Becomes a little playful then. And now we're happy babies. In Sanskrit, it's called Ananda Balasana, which means blissful child's pose. Feet together, knees apart, grab onto your ankles. This is a reclined Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then releasing the feet down to the floor. The outer pinky edges of your feet should just kind of rest on the floor, the knees apart like butterfly legs. And let's just take a couple breaths here, letting gravity do its work. I know it's not very comfortable. It's not for me either, but we can do anything for 3 breaths. When you're ready to bring those feet flat, knees bent, you can help by using your fingers to bring those knees together. Reset. This time my hands are going to grab on behind my knees on each leg. So I'm picking my feet up, but I'm going to create this pumping action where I'm going to straighten my legs and then bend my knees and then straighten them and bend them. And after a couple rounds, I'm going to get this momentum to bring me all the way to seated. Yeah. Woo. Good morning again. Come on up to seated. In fact, let's come to hands and knees. We're changing it up. We got to change it up once in a while. So take your time. If you've got some water, grab a sip of water. Rearrange anything that you might need. I do have some extra cushions for the knees if anyone here needs to borrow them. We'll start bringing ourselves into a cat and cow position. And so just keep on moving there and see how the back is feeling today. Be gentle with yourself. So if it's feeling a little tight, then maybe move a little slower or a bit more cautiously through the body there. I know when I first started yoga, I would get like muscle spasms as I was doing this type of work with my back. But over time, it gets used to it. All right. Now we're going to add those active cats. So back to our tabletop. If your wrists are getting sore, might switch to fists every once in a while. So let's do the right leg. We're going to kick that right leg up to the sky, look up, and then round the back, active cat. Exhaling. We'll inhale to lift those right toes and exhale to round. And one more time, just like that. Nice job. Let's do 3 on the left as well. So we'll lift that left leg back up, look up towards the front of the room, and then exhale and round your back for the active cat. And we'll do a couple more like that. So it doesn't matter if your leg is bent or straight. It's more about that cat motion of rounding the back. Nice job. We'll bring ourselves back, take the weight off your hands. You can either walk your hands forward for like a puppy pose and put the weight on your elbows, or you could slide further back into a child's pose if that suits your body better. Always trying to remember to do what it is that honors your body. That's why I offer so many options, is because there's just so many people with different things going on in their body. So we kind of have to mix and match and try different things, see what works. And if something doesn't work for you, then don't feel like you have to go back to that. Tuning back into the breath. So let's take one more of those deep breaths. even longer, moving outward. Peel yourself up when you're ready to. We're going to do some moon salutations today in lieu of that full moon. So let's tuck those toes under here. We'll roll ourselves up to the downward facing dog. So let's stretch it out here. Really push into your hands. Look back at your ankles, back at your toes, and start to pedal it out. I know that's a lot of pressure on the hands, but it feels really good on the calves, good on the hamstrings. I enjoy the pressure on my hands because I know my bones are going to get stronger by creating that pressure with the bones smooshing into each other. Look towards your hands when you're ready to shift and start to walk forward or walk your hands back. It doesn't have to look pretty. Don't worry about that. We just get to where we're going. Bend your knees a little bit. Get your belly to rest on your thighs. So separate your feet if you need more room there. Let go of your head. See if you can let go of your arms. Close the eyes if that's okay. And let's take a deep breath here. Great job. Sweep your arms out, press through your feet, roll up really slowly here. We don't want to get dizzy. So as you rise up, grab onto that good energy overhead, and we'll bring it right down into the heart center. Relax the shoulders back, stand up nice and tall. Make sure that the four corners of your feet are grounded. So that's the big toe, the outer pinky toe, inner heel, and outer heel. So we want to make sure that our feet are grounded firmly. A lot of times I'll see people's ankles kind of roll in or roll out. And that can, of course, creates tension on the inner and outer legs, which then pulls on the pelvis and pulls on the spine and pulls on the neck and pulls on the shoulder. So people are like, I don't know why my neck hurts. And I'm like, well, it could be that your ankles rolled in. So it really truly is all connected. And so we'll find those 4 points of the feet. We want to roll those shoulders back so that from shoulder to hip to knee to ankle, we're in one tall line. So alignment is a big principle of our yoga practice. So we're going to go for a moon salutation. So first we're going to sit in an invisible chair. So with an inhale, we'll pull it into the heart center. With an exhale, we ground the energy. So feel your feet ground. Inhale, reach up, energy rises. Stay here with your arms and bend your knees, sitting into that chair pose. I always look down because I want to make sure that my knees are not knocking together or widening apart. They're staying straight over top my toes. I look up, it's starting to burn. I feel it in my ankles. I feel it in my thighs. I'm going to sit a little deeper and then roll my belly onto my thighs. You might be able to touch the floor. A block comes in handy. Let's straighten one leg. I did my right leg first, so I straightened just my right leg. I can feel that hamstring all the way up to my butt. And then we'll bend both knees once again. And then try the other leg. See how that one's feeling. That one's looser for me. So I don't feel it as intensely. Let's do that a couple times, just bending and straightening each leg here. Nice work. Last one. I'm on round 3 here. You might have done more. You might have done less. It's okay. You can keep on going if you want to. I'm going to bend both my knees. And then I'm going to lift halfway to my shins, to my knees, to my thighs. I've been calling this turtleneck pose lately because I feel like my head is being pulled out of my turtle shell. Nice work. One more breath. Kind of suck it in. Activate your core there. And then exhale. Bend through your knees. Now this is where it changes. Right foot stays where it is. The left foot is going to step far back onto the mat. You have an option here. You can either ground your left knee if you want to stay close to the floor. If you want more activity today, then keep your left knee lifted. I'm going to cue with my left knee lifted. Walk your hands up to the top of your right knee. That's a great place to start. So it could look like this, or it can look like this. It's your choice. They're both same, but different. From there, activate the core. Hands to the heart or hands up overhead. It's your choice. Your arms can go wherever you want them to. Where the arms go, where we gaze is your preference. Mudras and drishtis are what they're called. One more breath. We can do this. Let's float those hands down. Float them down right next to the right foot. The left hand is going to ground so that it's on the same plane of measurement as the right foot there. Then the right hand is going to reach out past the right knee, up to the sky maybe. The drishti or focal point is either straight out towards the wall or up towards your right thumb. One more breath. Bring it down. Downward dog. Oh my gosh, thank you. Downward dog's easy now compared to all those lunges we just did. So pedal it out a couple times. See how it's feeling. Feeling kind of unbalanced to me because we've only done one side. So let's finish up our vinyasa. Look to your hands. Roll it forward like you're going to do a push-up. Let's hold it there for a breath. Maybe you want to hold it for more. You can hold it this whole time while I do this vinyasa. Bend your knees, lower down. Roll the chest up. That's called a heart lift. It could be Sphinx, it could be Cobra like this, or it could be an upward dog like that. It's your choice. We're going to roll back down through those modifications, through the variations. Tuck your toes. Roll back up. I come to tabletop first and then reach my hips up. Walk my toes forward just a couple inches, pedal it out. We'll get the other side done here next. But first, reach your right leg up to the sky as high up there as you can. Bend your right knee. Open your hip up a little bit. There you go. We'll lengthen that up. And step the right foot forward. Then the left. Then the right, then the left, then the right, as many steps as you would like. Nice. When you get there, reset your back. Turtleneck pose. So we'll lift our hands up to our shins, lengthen out the spine, try to lower your shoulders from your neck. One more breath, draw the belly button in, and then let it go. Everything, let it go. Separate your feet, bend your knees, kind of grasp onto your wrists or opposite elbows and just hang out here. When you're ready to rise up, feel free to do that. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to stay here just because I'm here, or just because other people are here still. You can rise up whenever it is that you're ready. The opposite is also true. You can stay in that position as long as you would like. Hands can reach up when you are ready to come up. Grab the good energy and bring it right down into that heart center. So we're really focused on that heart today, all the things we might be dealing with, our situations in our life. And although here at yoga, we're working on our body, our mind is still there, maybe like, oh, that thing that keeps happening in our life, that thing we're working through in our life. So give it a moment, give it some attention, send it some energy, whatever that thing is. Let's do the other side of our body too, so that we can physically stay balanced here also. Inhale right here at our heart. Exhale, the hands come down to the sides. We'll inhale to sweep out, sweep up over your head. Keep those arms up there this time. And let's sink down into the chair position. It's known as Utkatasana, which means fierce position. And I'm not sure why, because I don't feel very fierce. I'm like, my legs. So I'm going to try to sink a little deeper, grounding through the tailbone, and lift a little higher, lifting through my head and heart. And then my legs are burning more. I feel less fierce. But when you're ready, we'll start to roll over those legs into a forward fold, straighten one leg. I just kind of, through my habits, you know, always do the right leg first. I should change that and do the left one first next time. Keep on moving here, just stretching each hamstring one at a time. You can hold it for a while or you can move with your breath. It's looking awesome. We'll finish this moon salutation up, lifting halfway, flattening through the back, turtleneck pose. It's actually half forward fold. And then we'll fold back forward to the forward fold. Keep your left foot where it is this time. The right foot's going to step as far back on the mat as you can. Remember, you've got the option to drop that right knee if you would like, or keep it lifted. It's your choice. I'm going to keep it lifted today. Hands are going to walk up to the top of our left knee. Get your balance. And then from there, you might activate the core, you might bring your hands to your heart or lift them up over your head. It's your choice. My leg is burning, that's for sure. I can feel like my metabolism being like, whoa, you're really working now through some lactic acid. One more breath. Soften through the knee and start to forward fold, framing your left foot. Right hand on the mat in the same plane as the left foot. Left hand reaches out to the left, up to the sky. Your new focal point is either straight out to the left or up to your hand. Downward dog is next. I'll meet you there. Nice job. Pedal it out a couple times. When you're ready to work through that vinyasa, feel free to join me. What the vinyasa is inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, to the floor. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, downward dog. So what vinyasa means is one breath, one movement. It doesn't really matter what those movements are. It just means that you're linking your movements to your breath. When you would like to come forward, look towards your hands, inhale, and step forward. I did my left foot first this time, just to keep on following that same pattern. We'll lift halfway, flatten the back. Exhale. Let's just let it go. Everything. Separate your feet, bend your knees, become a pendulum if you'd like. Now, if that does not feel good on your back to hang out like this, then feel free to roll up whenever you want to. Lots of options here. It's really all about honoring whatever you need today. Nice work. Release the arms, swing them out to the side, soft knees as you roll up all the way. Hands grab onto the good energy overhead and we'll bring it right down into our heart to feed our body and our mind, our heart. Nice job. All right, so let's see here. Let's see. I want to show you a new move today. It's a balance move because we've been working on balance lately. And so it's known as half moon pose. Okay, so we're going to work through it in sections because it is not like a beginner pose. So we'll make it beginner. And then some of you will be like, wow, I can do the whole thing here. So what we're going to do is kind of come into that position where we're in warrior 3 assisted. So let's take a big inhale up to the sky. And then soften the knees. That protects our back as we fold forward. So if you've got blocks, I would use a block if you happen to have one, just to get your fingers on that. So I'm going to cue first, standing on my left foot so that the camera can see what I'm doing. So I've got my fingers on the floor. I'm going to slide my right foot back and up into the air. So I'm balancing on my left foot and on all 10 fingers here. So those fingers don't ever have to leave the floor here. So now the real challenge comes when I'm going to ground through my left fingers and try to reach my right hand out to the side, out to the right. Can you follow that whole movement with your chest, opening your chest out to the right too? No, it's okay. You're halfway there, my friends. That's half moon pose. It's really freaking hard. So come on back down, bend your knees, kind of crouch down. That helps a lot. It's like, okay, I'm on the ground again. I'm going to turn the other way just so I can continue watching because it's fun. Okay, let's try the other side. Fingers on the floor. It's going to be right foot on the floor and right fingers on the floor. Your left foot's going to slide back up into the air. You can just do that if you want. That's warrior 3. That's pretty hard. The challenge comes when you also reach your left hand out. And then if you can open your chest out to the side too, that's freaking hard. That's half moon pose. You got it. And then just crouch down, crouch down. Yeah, it's like, ooh, come all the way. Yeah, good job. You are awesome. That's really hard. So I'm going to show you what the full pose looks like, okay? So you fly into a warrior 3 and then come into a half moon pose. But I don't want my fingers on the floor, so I'm going to see if I can do that. Yeah, it's really hard. Even a person who does yoga every day, it's really hard. So this is our nervous system. When you see yourself shaking, that's your muscles being like, whoa, what are you doing? And your nervous system is reprogramming itself. So the challenge is good for our brain. All right. We can get down to the floor. So whew, take yourself down there. Nice job. Yeah, we already did. You did so good. But now that we're not working as hard, we're going to start cooling off a little bit. So if you need to put your jacket or socks back on, feel free. Let's roll back. You deserve a hug. So pull those knees back to your chest. And start to slow the breath down, especially the exhales. Now, that pose is a lot easier on the yoga wall. Great job, everybody. Now, of course, when we slow down, our body cools down physically, but also our mind has more time to move and think and shift. And so we start to think a lot more. And that's what the mind is made to do. We can use that time beneficially. So kind of just going back to the beginning, remember that Hridaya Mudra where we kind of place our hands on our heart. And you can do that physically if you want to here, or you can kind of mentally just bring that awareness back to the heart center, back to any situations at hand in your life in which you need to address. Things that keep bubbling up again and again, old habits, programming, all of these things. And give it some energy. Now, yoga, the practice of yoga was created in India and spread all throughout Asia. And of course, in India, most of the people are Buddhist or Hindu. And so a lot of those teachings are ingrained in yoga. And so the main teaching of the Buddha is that we are all suffering. All of us, human nature. It's because we're attached to stuff. We create attachments. We cling to things, whether it's a person or a pet or a place or an idea, a thought, a belief even. We cling to these things, and it's really scary to be pulled away from these things. And so when we're pulled away from the things that we love in our life, it creates suffering. And so my quote for this week, it kind of hit me where it hurt, is healing also means taking responsibility for the role that you play in your own suffering. What do we allow in our lives? But then we've got this place inside of us, this divine place of refuge where we can turn to at any time and know that you already have everything that you need. And so just recognizing that each one of us has stuff in our lives that we're dealing with, whether it's worry or finances or health or something else. Let's take a couple of breaths and soothe our nervous system. Really elongating that exhale, relaxing, creating calmness in the body so that we can have the energy to face these situations in our life with clarity. Healing also means taking responsibility for the role you play in your own suffering. I know for some of us, just laying here is kind of the hard part. Our body starts to shift and change temperature. So even now, there's choices to make. You can stay still, or if you're ready, your body's saying it's time to move again, to move out of practice and into life, then start to create movement. I start with my hands. I just roll my wrists a couple times, spread my fingers, make fists. I might do the same thing with my feet, just start moving my toes around a little bit, extending the legs. You can roll around a little bit from side to side. You can roll up to a feet. You can stay on your back as long as you need. So always listening to that inner voice, that inner intelligence that tells you what you need. Eventually, as we exit the practice, we'll want to roll back up to seated to kind of just bring our awareness back to the body. See how it has changed in an hour. And that's pretty cool. We can create change. And that's the cool part about all of this too. Although we may all be suffering in some way, everything in life is impermanent. Everything. The suffering, the pain in your body, this life. It's all impermanent. So be here now, be in your body. The real challenge is taking this work off the mat, taking what we've learned here of our breath and our awareness, knowing that we have everything we need right inside. And as we walk off the mat into our life, keep practicing, keep breathing. I draw my hands to my heart. I acknowledge the divine intuition and divine light inside of each one of you, and that same divine refuge, intuition, and light inside of me. And when we recognize that inside of each one of us, we recognize the oneness, the yoga, the yoking, the unity. And that is why we say namaste.